you want a 1.6 to a 2 litre engine swapping, just give your man a holler and I'll get it out for you.
Well, I think you guys can tell that I am over the moon so far with the project, and we're now on to the next stage. Now I've started taking the trims off the side of the van ready for paint, and I'm going to start getting it all sanded down. I might start doing the wings, the bonnet, the rear bumper and wing mirrors, but then I don't know where I'm quite going to spray the rest of the van. But I'm just thinking I might have to buy some sort of canopy where it just goes over the top to spray it, because as you can see I've got quite a wide open driveway, and I'm really hoping that I'm going to get a unit at some point, but until then you've got to deal with what you've got to deal with. So at the minute I'm just working on putting all the tape back on, all the connections, taping everything back up, but I have had a problem.
Now before we get to that, we need to wrap all this wiring up, because let's be honest, it looks absolutely terrible if you leave all the wiring just lying all over the place. I've seen so many engine bays that look absolutely disgusting because people haven't wrapped it back up in wiring tape, done it properly and put it back how it should be, OEM style. So as you can see, just wrapping everything up, getting it all back to how it needs to be, so we don't have that ugly engine bay.
Now I've got no lights on the dash, but what I have just noticed is, I'm not saying it wasn't boosting, I could hear a big whoosh, like a big turbo sound, as though it wasn't giving that big push, and I just noticed that down the back of the turbo there, well, that pipe's pretty much not even bloody on. Can you see this one here underneath? I don't know if you can quite see it, it's quite tight, but it's not fully on. In fact, it's not even on. So I need to get that put back on. I think I've got another issue, and I didn't really want to see this, but I have. Now if you remember, we bought the Seat Leon 2010 and it was smoking out of its arse. I took this for a drive the other day, just down the road and just back up the road, and it was smashing out white smoke. Now I've had to have a couple of days just basically thinking about what it could be, and maybe it's a DPF regen, I don't know. But what I am going to do is start looking at EGR and DPF to try and see if I can find out what the issue is. But I honestly don't know at this stage. Is this engine knackered? It can't be, because it runs absolutely fine. So my next thought, I'm going to do the EGR, get these two blanked off here, and then I might have to, because I haven't got a ramp and I haven't got enough space, I don't think, regrettably, take the engine back out again.
Yep, the only way for me to do this, I think personally, rather than laying on the floor, on my back, under axle stands, wondering if the engine's ever going to drop on top of me, why don't I just pull the engine out, as per the way I know. So let's get cracking. We're in for a long one in today's video, guys, but yes, there's no messing around over here. We need to get this EGR Cooler off the back of this engine. And look, I'm excited. It's another engine pull out, albeit the same engine. I just need to find the problem, understand what it is, and learn as much as I can in the process. So all we're doing is taking the crash bar and rad pack off. Now what I've done is loosen the bolts on the top and then loosen the crash bar off. There's 8 bolts come out the crash bar, and the rad pack sits on top of that. So before that, just disconnected the pipes, as you can see, bottom left hand corner, bottom right hand corner, and a couple of coolant hoses, just so I can literally take it straight off as a hole-in-one. No messing around, and that's the front of the engine bay, basically just looking at us, ready to roll. So what I'm doing is just taking off the clutch cables here. There's 3 bolts that come out of there to hold that gear selector on, And again, yeah, all I'm doing is just trying to undo all the nuts and bolts and get this out as quick as I can in record time, but remembering how to put it back together. Right, got the majority disconnected now. A couple of plugs left to go. It's quite straightforward. I need to lift the car up at some point. I then need to drop the oil out the bottom just to get that out of the way so we're not having oil all over the place. What I have noticed is, I mean, this could have been from the last time the engine was knackered, but I mean, there's some oil in there if you can see. So I'm just wondering whether that's old, but obviously it won't help if it's getting some form of, it's not right the way up though, so it could have been legacy. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know yet. Is it oil filter housing? Is it the EGR on the back? I have no idea, guys. But the engine's coming out and back in one day. Right, so at a stage now where she's just going to come out, and I'm probably, not going to lie to you, I've had 2 hours on it. She's ready to come out, but I feel like if I can get it out, I can get everything done to it. The oil looked perfect as well, but like I said, when I took it out, it was smoking its arse off, so something just wasn't quite right. She's ready to come out now. It's just a case of, just a case of getting her out. Just go down a little bit more. Like that. Pipes at the back. Pipes at the back. All of this done before I go on the jollies. So you'll have seen that drop there, 2 coolant hoses on the back. It isn't coolant, it's just water for now, before everyone starts shouting at me saying I'm putting coolant everywhere and all that rubbish. It's not, it's just water for now. So people think I'm probably a little bit bonkers, and I probably think that myself, to be honest with you, but I tell you what, by taking it out, putting it back in, and still having the starter motor connected. Let's get that disconnected now. There's that starter motor. There's that little socket. So people often think that I've got a screw loose, but when you're not a mechanic, it's the only way for me to learn, by stripping it all out and really having a go. Now I think in these V-dubs I know where pretty much every cable connection, I'm pretty confident with the majority of them now, which I suppose is it's definitely a positive thing, isn't it?
So this is pretty much out now. So I just want to say a massive thank you, and excuse my hair, it's a mess. Some of us YouTubers have problems, you see, we've got a full head of hair. So I just want to say a massive thank you to people who've bought me a coffee in the link below and got the CR diagrams. I think we've got 4 CR conversions done off me giving them a hand. And again, I'm no expert, I really aren't, I'm just here to learn, you know, and share it with you guys. So a big thank you. So let's get this out. Let's get this EGR delete done. Let's get it back in within a day. Engine out, engine in, bosh. So my whole reason was just to do the EGR and possibly do the DPF. Not that I'm going to do anything to it. Just going to caress it a little bit. Right, we're nearly there. Right. Well, that is the position I want to be in. How much easier is that? Alright, so let's have a look at this EGR DPF thing. Move over a little bit more. That wheel's not on the ground. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. Get it to there. So there's the EGR there. Let's move his DPF out of my way.
Time chill on my own, just wanna do me, just wanna doze, just wanna live and see how it goes. And the goals just keep on going, yeah. This life we live is a war. When there's love in the rave, you know. When there's love in the rave, you know. All inside you, all in the soul, soul, soul.
DPF. DPF just looks full, but again, don't know what a DPF looks like. This is the culprit, so I'm just going to take this EGR cooler off, and we're just going to blank off that exhaust. We're going to blank off the other side of the EGR cooler, and we're going to join the pipe here to there, and that's it. I think, pretty sure that's all it's needed. Alright, pet. Right, let's get a tech box first.
So normally when I bring the engine out, I always ask for a second pair of hands, and as you probably noticed, or if you did hear me, I already pulled it out. So massive shout out to the brother-in-law. Again, if I get to a point where I think I need 2 people just temporarily, I'll give him a shout. It's best to be safe than sorry. But in this case, I did take the engine out. I had it out before he got here, but I thought, you know what, we'll work on the EGR delete together. He only had an hour of his time, so literally thought the best thing I can use him for is to help me just pull the pipes out, get the EGR out. Again, we both sort of know what we're doing. He's worked on loads of cars before as well, so it's ideal for me when I'm in this scenario. So EGR delete's going to be in. Once that's in, we only really have the turbo that then it's we only really have the turbo that is then at fault, or the coolant, the oil filter housing on the front of the engine. They're the only 2 culprits that could lead us to having loads of white smoke coming out the back. Now I am going to get an EGR delete, I am going to get a DPF delete as well. and I have noticed that there is a possibility to do a DPF delete with the pipes to stop it regenning before you get the delete done out. So I'll probably have a look at that, but as you can see, back of the engine's out and the engine runs absolutely fine. It's been brilliant, but it's times like this where I should be able to do the water pump and the actual belt as well. So the auxiliary belt, the timing belt, the water pump, that is the next step, the next thing that I need to learn. So there's going to be a video coming out in the next couple of days, which will hopefully, it's a bit of a plea, a bit of an ask, so hopefully somebody can help me in the northeast, show me the ropes, because that's the next thing that really I need to learn. But yeah, for now, we'll just continue on getting that pipe in. That's the EGR delete pipe, as you can see. It goes from one pipe on the right hand side to the pipe on the left hand side, making sure we're not kinking any of that. But imagine doing this from underneath the back of the van. It'd just be a nightmare. And as we always say, best to look at the back of the vans when you're doing the work.
I've done that up.
Yeah, that's nipped.
I've tightened them. So that's tight, although that bit doesn't look as tight as I'd like it to be.
You could probably just screw them back into that.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the threaded bits in there.
Just do that, couldn't we?
I think you've done them.
Yeah, but I'm just checking. So there's a gap there, but I might get away with that, should be alright. Right. So, tighten that up.
It's nipped.
Nip that up. Done. So that's the pipe. Oh, that's alright, you know. That'll be alright.
If you think it's alright, put the Jubilee clip on it while you're there.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I want to cut that one off though.
Yeah, yeah.
So there should be.
It's because it's not doing anything.
Not doing anything, no. And I always said when I get the engine out again, I would just nip it up, do you know what I mean?
Just watch your fingers.
Just watch the other pipe. Oh! Hello, sailor. How you doing? Oh, it's got a hole together. It's connected together. Oh, fuck. Listen. I'm just messing with you. So if you want a 1.6 to a 2 litre engine swapping, just give your man a holler and I'll get it out for you. But see how, if you have a bit of flex like that, it's going to go around that. Whereas if you put that in like that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's because I've
It's better. It'd be better to have something like, even that shit. That's all right, you know.
It's alright for now, but once that'll bolt up somewhere.
Yeah.
Once that's in place, bolt it up before you put it all back in, and then see how this kinks.
It'd be right. How far up is that? I can get that from the back, can't I? Right. So we'll put that pipe in there. That EGR delete on there. And then we're going to try that first of all. If that works, happy fucking days. And if she doesn't work, it's something else.
So some of you guys might think that is an absolute chore of a job to get it out and to put the engine back in one day. But what I found was that it was either that or I was just going to lay on my back all day, struggling to get bolts out, not knowing where the nuts are. And you can see how easy we managed to get that DPF EGR cooler off with the engine out. Now it probably took 2 hours, 2.5 hours for me to get the engine out, which is a bit of an old slog. But I've heard that even the lads on the ramps don't like doing these EGR deletes, and it can be a right pain in the arse, so especially for access and everything else. So for me, I just decided that the engine was the best way for me to get the EGR cooler out, and that's the first start. That's back of the engine. Really, I don't need to be there again unless I need to get the DPF out at a later date. But let's try that because the smoke was unbearable, and I've heard some things about an EGR cooler that if it doesn't work, or it's been on for too long, or it's failed, that will cause the smell, it'll cause coolant to get into the system, which is probably mixing with the rest of the oil that was sat in the pipes. At this moment in time, guys, I'm absolutely guessing. What we have done, as you say, is put that straight through pipe on the back of the engine. So we took the EGR cooler off, put the straight pipe on, clipped it together, and basically just bypassing it and putting some blanket plates on the EGR, and on the turbo side. So hopefully this is the fix. As you can see here, he's putting all the engine mounts back in by hand, not too tight. You don't need to overstretch these engine mounts and you don't want to knacker them. So massive shout out again to the brother-in-law coming over. It's always best, as you say, in and out to have two people there just in case. However, I did take it out on my own at the start. But look, two hands are always better than one. You see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people with somebody else helping. And yeah, putting the bottom bolt in under the bottom of the engine now to the dog mount, and that is the engine in, and we can start to pull the crane away. And that's it. An hour of someone's time has made my life even easier.
Wow, what a slog. So, engine's back in, and I just took it out because I wanted to get that EGR delete done. I haven't done the DPF yet, that's going to be the next thing that I do. But I just want to see if the coolant issue, I think it's coolant issue, stops. After that, next thing I'm going to look at is probably the oil filter housing. I think that could be the next culprit. It could well be. I don't know at this stage. I'm getting a lot of white smoke after, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. So at least if we get the EGR delete done, we know that's not going to cause any problems. I drained the oil out. It was absolutely pristine, so the oil's perfect. So, but there is a real funny smell, and I've heard people say that on these EGRs, I mean, the smell absolutely reeks. But I did hear people say as well that on these EGR, this is supposed to move in, this actuator. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but as you can see, that one doesn't move. So is that the fault? Hopefully it is. But yeah, fingers crossed. So I'll go away in about 3 days time, and the missus just looked at me as if to say, what the hell are you doing? You're pulling an engine out of your van that you've just put in, you know. But I had no fault code, so that's the reason why. The only bit I haven't got done yet, and let me show you once I get all this back together. Let's get cracking.
Now, people think I am crazy, and do you know what? I think I'm going to slightly agree with them. But I know I'm not the only person. If you're watching this, you are probably similar to me. You know, you like taking things apart, you like breaking things, you like knowing how things go back together. Let me tell you, I know a lot about these VWs. Not loads, not everything, but let me tell you, I know a lot. I know how to get the engines out in a short period of time. Now, for me, an engine out and an engine in a day, well, less than 8 hours, is a bloody big accomplishment for somebody without a ramp and somebody who really is a techie by heart. So a massive thank you to all the subs and everyone who keeps supporting the channel. Let's get this thing finished.
People think it's easy, but I can have an engine out and an engine in easy within a day. So now is just after lunch, engine's back in, so it's about 2 hours out, 2 hours back in. All I need to do is put the rad pack on, fill her up, and then test her. And I know you're all probably saying, John, you should have done that when you got the engine out the first time. Yes, I agree, but in hindsight, this just shows I can take an engine out, put an engine back in, and that's in a day. So she is back together, and some of us are real driveway mechanics, albeit with a little dribble there. And I've had a chance to have a shower. I think you'll agree, she looks there, but is she fully there? I don't know yet. I'll confirm this week. Filled it with a bit of water just to give her a little bit. It was not starting. I have to put the engine back in. It was just trying to crank. I knew there was a problem somewhere, so what did I do? I left it, I went for a shower, I came back out, and I didn't connect the starter motor up. properly the earth cable. I haven't got a clutch yet. She's flat on floor, as you can see. But I've tightened that bolt up. Engine, gearbox, or everything should be good. So what I should see is power steering, right? Yeah, this is right. Power steering light, that'll go when I drive the car. I don't know if you can see that, but when you do an engine swap, so there's a power steering light on, and there's an ABS light and an engine management. Now we know we've got the engine management light, and you guys know why. If you don't know why, you've just watched the video. You've just seen exactly what we've done. So let's try and crank her over, get her started, eh? She sounds, wow, really good now. So as I say, that light will go out, that light will go out. I didn't expect that EML light to go out because I have blanked off the EGR on the exhaust, and I've also blanked it off on the front of the engine. So I would have expected that to stay. So I told you, it's a last minute crazy attempt. Engine out, engine back in the same day. We've done an EGR Cooler delete. I couldn't be arsed laying on my back, I'm not gonna lie guys. And I also wanted to prove that I could get the engine back out, engine back in. The more times I do it, the more repetition. And I want to become an expert on these VWs. So I need to bleed the clutch. I'll get that bled next. But let me show you what I have done, because it's always interesting for you guys to see. And as I'm learning, you know, the experts might have fixed this out straight away, but, you know, we take one day at a time. I missed that bolt on the starter motor. I didn't miss it. I put it on, just didn't tighten it. What an idiot. Always double check your work. Let me show you what I've done. So on the back of the exhaust, you won't be able to see because it's right down in the back, but on the back of the exhaust, you'll see, and look at the mess. Mrs. has left all beers and stuff out that she's been drinking. So I can show you this roughly. So this is how it sits, and this piece here goes like so, and it bolts onto the back of the turbo. So we put a blanking plate on the turbo, and then this thing here is this bit here. So it goes from there and runs all the way around to the front of the engine. Now excuse it, but look at the state of it. It's absolutely minging inside. So I did hear that these turbo actuators, I mean, you can see the rust on the top of the turbo. I did hear that you should be able to push these in, and you can see it wants to move. So I don't know if that is my issue. And I've just got a funny feeling that with the exhaust gases, the coolant of the water was probably getting in from this, and that was probably causing an issue. It has got an original V-dub part on, so, and it's, see there, 2010, so whether it hasn't been changed, it looks a little bit stainy as well. And the inside, well, you can't really see the inside on the camera very well, but it looks, you can't see it, it just looks terrible. So I'm hoping that's my problem. So she's got a recon turbo. If I still get it, I need to sort the DPF out. I didn't do it this time round, so I want to see if the cooler was the fault here. If the EGR cooler is the problem here, then the DPF can remain. I am going to get the DPF mapped out, but I haven't got an engine management light, which I thought I would have got when I deleted an EGR. But as you can see, I've just put a blanking plate where the EGR was, and hopefully that has fixed the problem, because I've done the engine swap, I've done the wiring, I've now just got some teething problems, and I don't know if the engine is kaput. And I'll be really honest with you, I want to get started with doing the next phase, the paint. I want to get started with the Touran seats in the rear. I want to get all of them bits done, but I can't do it until the van's mechanically sound. So hopefully you can bear that in mind, that I'm still learning on this journey, guys. And look, I aren't as good as a lot of other people, but what I am doing is showing that you can do this, you can have a go. It's just trial and error. I've been helping loads of guys with the wiring on their CR conversions recently, and they're all paying off, they're all starting, they're all running. Do me a massive favour, if you're still here, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and I suppose I'll see you guys in the next one, hoping that this Caddy Maxi can start to get on the road and get out and about.